magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future. Transformers Slag Podcast. What's up, everyone? How we doing this Saturday night? It's a Transformers Slag Podcast Center live stream main event. I'm your host, Protoman. I'm the unshaved face that runs this place. I'm the voice you hear Monday to Friday. It is Saturday. Apologize about last week. It's funny how the world works. You do a autograph signing for your comic. It's an amazing day. It's absolutely fantastic. Tons of people show up. It was great. And then as you're driving home of biblical proportions, the whole weather just turns on you. First, it was rain coming down the size of your fist, just to the point that like you couldn't see the road. And then all of a sudden, all the power goes out everywhere on the west side of the island. Got crazy just trying to get home. And then on top of it all, then you get hail from the sky, the size of marbles just banging down. It was insane. Absolutely insane. Where's my phone, actually? I showed it to some people in the Discord, but just to show you guys, like, it was absolutely crazy. Crazy. Here. Let me imagine the middle of... It's supposed to be June. So it's nice and summer, and then we had hail the size of marbles just falling from the sky in the middle of summer. I don't know. It took out all the power, and it was crazy because like we were just... What's up, Princeton? We'll get to your super chat in a second. Sami Zayn, champion, yeah, eh? Montreal's own. But it's something where it was like everything got messed up. The power company was like, oh, we'll have power back by 8 o'clock. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll do a late 9 p.m. live stream. And then 9 o'clock became 10 o'clock, became midnight. And then I was like, okay, it looks like live stream's not happening. And we didn't get back power until like 18 hours later. So Aaron Archer messaged me. He's like, so what did you lose in the fridge? And I was like, oh yeah, had to throw out the milk, the eggs. I mean, the cool thing is the freezer, more or less things were okay because a freezer could last about 24 hours if you don't open it. But the fridge, forget about it. Everything was a bit of a wash. So I had to throw out the milk, the eggs, our chicken, like just everything was, forget about it. So we had to go do groceries again. It's the second time that's happened in I think 3 years now. It's pretty crazy. It was nuts. But needless to say, we're back. We're good now. Don't want to stress you guys with trivial matters, but we are back. That's why also the segments throughout the week were a little spotty because we were just trying to get back to a normal schedule, and I had to go do groceries and catch up on stuff and everything. And some of my neighbors, they got flooded. Like they got flooded really bad, so I had to help them out too. And that's why it might sound a little quieter today because the air purifier is not running in the Transformer cave today. I lent it to my neighbor because he needed it badly. My hair is a mess. I am unshaved. Like, needless to say, we are 2 weeks away from TFCon. I'm going to clean all this up and get everything ready for all of that. And by the way, next week on the live stream, we're going to be revealing a TFCon exclusive. All throughout the week, there's going to be TFCon exclusives being revealed for the Toronto show. But next Saturday, right here on the podcast, we're going to reveal a brand new exclusive that'll be debuting at the show. So stay tuned for that. Very hype stuff. But who's in the chat? I've rambled long enough. It's probably the longest ramble I've done in a while. And Rudy Mack. How you doing, Rudy Mack? Glad that you're back. Thank you, Rudy. I'll be seeing you at TFCon soon enough. James Hopskin, how you doing? TFCon Twins. I got some T-shirts for you that I got to bring on down. I hope I don't forget it. I have to start planning everything next week. I got to start lining up everything. But I got your shirts waiting for you. Fawnheart, how you doing? Ninjatron, I'll be seeing you next week. And your awesome panel. Patrick Brown, what's up? T-Formers 2002, I'll also be seeing in 2 weeks. Not next week, 2 weeks. I'm already getting lost here. Princeton Phalanx, how you doing, my man? Thank you for the $5 super chat. James, Rudy Mack, I already saw. Andrew Boyus. Good evening, Andrew. Welcome. Horned Owl, what's up? What's up, Horned Owl? Tom Laney, how you doing? Will Murphy, just want to make sure I shout out all the green names and the patrons. Make sure I don't miss nobody. I want to make sure I don't miss nobody. A lot of other people. If I miss you, I apologize. I'll get you on the back end. Giggity. Brainstorm with the $5 super chat. Realized something yesterday. Sonic the Hedgehog is celebrating its 35th birthday, and Beast Wars turns 30 as well. Yeah, actually, Mega Man on his Twitter account wished Sonic happy birthday and to go enjoy a chili dog. So the Blue Bomber and the Blue Blur have a little bit of a DNA connection in a lot of ways throughout the years. So that's how. Cringe McCringle, what's up? Go check out Cringe's latest YouTube video about the Ark from Dark of the Moon. Very good video. I only hope that it gets as many views as my review of the Ark did all those years ago. I really hope. I hope Cringe's destroys my video. My video was old and crusty and didn't deserve any of those views back in the day. Brainstorm, hey. Andrew just got the Covenant of Primus. Nice. I see Aaron makes sense getting him to sign it. I understand totally Aaron signing. He had a lot to do with that. Ken Christensen's another one that if you could find him, he had a lot to do with the art on the inside of like 90% of the stuff in there. So he's another one. Someone got me to sign it and I felt bad. Like I was like, I don't deserve to sign this. You know, like I had nothing to do with this. But I remember at I think it was like TFCon Orlando or something, I signed the Covenant of Primus. But they really insisted. So if you want me to sign like Combiner Wars packaging, that makes sense. BotCon or, TF Club packaging, that makes sense. Like, if you want me to sign, like this comic, I had a lot to do with this book from Timelines, that makes sense. But the Covenant, that's Mr. Archer, much more talented than me. So, what's up, Larry? What's up? Where are we at? Just want to make sure I don't miss nobody. TFCon Twins with the $2.79 super chat. If it helps, we can tweet. Yeah, or Facebook. Yeah, please. What I would suggest, Twins, if you can, I'm going to, no joke, I'm going to be tackling, because I'm going to be doing a parts party also this year. So I'm going to be pulling stuff out of storage. No joke, your stuff and T-Formers 2002, I have stuff for him also, is literally sitting at the entrance of my house. But I just want to make sure it gets in my suitcase. You know what I mean? I am going to be so swamped over that was next couple of days leading up to it, that please, any messages is more than welcome. You are not bugging me. I'm so worried that I forget it and then I'll feel like an idiot. But it's literally sitting there. It's like T-Formers has a Mirage, one of these bad boys. This is my own personal one. It's literally sitting on top of your T-shirts, just so I don't forget either one of them. And then a bunch of other stuff too. I am just so I have always said this. TFCon Toronto might be the smallest of the Transformer conventions, without a doubt. It's definitely the smallest, but it's the most socially active. I get to do the parts party. I run the charity auction every year, which is probably my highlight of the whole year when it comes to doing stuff in the Transformer community. I love doing the charity auction. It wears me out, but it's just so fun to do it because of the good cause. Geez, we raise $80,000. No joke, guys. We raise a lot of money for Make-A-Wish. So that's really cool. Actually, Make-A-Wish is doing something right now here in Montreal. They're doing a concert for Make-A-Wish. So that's pretty cool. I think it's called Strangers in the Night, something like that. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. They're doing that right now here in Montreal. But yeah. Did I get Princeton super chat? I think I did. I think I got his super chat. Did I miss Princeton super chat? Time to hallelujah kick this into show. Sami Zayn. Yeah, man. Sami Zayn again. Montreal's own Sami Zayn walking through the Molson Center to win the championship. Although in this case now it's going to be the Laval Center for future events, but that's a whole other story. What's up, Young? Hopefully I'll see you soon too. So let's jump into the news. We got a few things to talk about. Also, because of preparation for TFCon, 4 times a year I go get the stuff from the TFCon PO box. So I got a bunch of stuff from the PO box. I got some gifts from the fans and everything, a few little things here and there. Picked up some stuff, got some stuff that Hasbro sends to the PO box and everything. A lot of cool stuff. In-hand SDCC exclusive stuff to show you, and then some. So it's going to be a fun little evening tonight, to say the least. It's kind of a shame that last week got derailed. So we're going to do it all today. Is it Weird Al? I don't know what's happening with the Make-A-Wish. I just know something's going on. Something awesome is going on. So let's get into the news, and then we'll talk about everything else, take some super chats, go through the P.O. box and the cool stuff in there, and then some. So first up, we got a double dose of Transformers in terms of animated fiction of the short form content. We have the latest episode of Cyberworld that dropped just yesterday. So we got some Galvatron action. Go check that out. A lot of cool stuff and a few little memes and everything. Of course, Andy Lightfoot, who's the showrunner, always likes to put little funny stuff in the foreground and background of Transformers Cyberworld. And of course, we have the latest episode of Transformers Wilder King Double, or aka W. This is unfortunately, depending on your region locked. If you have to be in Japan to watch these episodes, of course, if you're part of the Transformers Slag podcast Patreon, you do have access to these. We get them region free for you guys. But yeah, if you have a VPN or if you're part of the Patreon, go check out episode 3 of Transformers Wild King. Looking good. Captain Volca, man. Like, let me just pull out. Always keep him near this. Captain Volca, his aqua form. Kind of want to pick him up now when I go to Japan. Looks good. Looks good. So there's that. That's popping off. And then, of course, let's talk about all the stuff that was in the Transformers Generations guidebook that just came out 2 days ago in Japan. So you're going to be seeing more scans and information of this. So we got a whole bunch of different prototype angles of the MP25 Brodocasto, aka Blaster. On the bottom left there's the 2 different face sculpts that I talked about last week that I was confused about. Here's the update on that. We have a stoic face and a smiling face. So those are the 2 different face sculpts that he'll come with. He could push some buttons. He comes with steel jaw. That's not really shown here. Looking real good, nice and svelte, very streamlined, screen accurate. Absolutely love it. Again, I have a bit of a bias. Blaster was the first Transformer toy I ever owned. I got him in 1986. He was beat up, but I didn't care. He was the first. And if you know anything about being a Transformer fan, you never forget your first, giggity. So yeah, love it. Love it. Very looking forward to this. They're also going to be doing MPG 26, which is going to be the cassette pack of Ramhorn and Eject. So there's going to be more of that coming, and probably we'll see Rewind, and we'll see maybe some of the other characters at some point in different packs. Maybe Rewind will come with the what do you call it? The twin cast redeco. We shall see. But very, very cool. We don't have prices or release dates yet, just early proto images. And speaking of early proto images, we also got this bad boy, just to kind of show us the scale with Lio Convoy, depending on which version of the mold you have here. We got the NL07 Transformers New Legends Beast Wars 2 Galvatron, who's a absolutely massive boy here. Again, the green Lio, legendary Lio Convoy, which is the same as any other of the Voyager molds of the same ilk, next to this. Which, I mean, I'm calling it now. This is like either a small Titan or a large Commander. I mean, especially considering how complex this guy has to be, because it is confirmed in the text on the bottom left here in Japanese. He will have the drill mode. He will have the dragon mode. He will have all of his gimmicks maintained. So the drill's going to probably spin, I guess. I don't know. I doubt they're going to have spring-loaded stuff on here like with the missiles. But, I mean, at the end of the day, this guy is going to be pretty beefy, pretty crazy, and probably a little pricey, but much worth it because it's just nice to see Beast Wars 2 stuff getting more love. And I mean, look, we got Magmatron, we got Big Convoy. Who would have thought Beast Wars Neo would like leapfrog over them? But yeah, looking good, man. looking real good. So looking forward to that one. I think I have almost every piece of Beast Wars 2 Galvatron merch. Even I collected everything from that because the second it was like, oh my god, there's an anime of Beast Wars. This was like in the late '90s. I tried to track down like PVCs and candy toys and all kinds of wacky figures and trading cards. Again, I love Beast Wars, so this guy was stellar to say the least. So yeah, there's this one. And then also more prototype stuff. Let's talk about Overgear, Transformers Overgear. The big takeaway from this, they showed all the behind the scenes stuff. But then when you look at the CAD models of all the alt modes, we see that there's a fourth one there on the top right, and it's a tank. And if I was a betting man, well, we got Convoy and we got a tank here. It's pretty clear who the pairing is going to be with Convoy, aka Optimus Prime. We're going to have a Megatron Overgear at some point. Obviously, this is just a CAD model, so obviously the alt mode is very simplified and made very streamlined to just kind of show the shape and probably for packaging. And if Aaron was here, he'd explain even more what CADs were for. But he's probably busy. I don't blame him. He's working on a secret project right now. So good stuff. So probably we'll be seeing a Megatron at some point. I know that the T-Spark has another live stream in August, if I remember correctly, seeing on their website from the Takara T-Spark. So they'll probably have more reveals and teases and everything like that. I think they're also going to show off the latest Evangelion, because I know they have the Unit 2, the Asuka Eva, is also going to be revealed probably around that time. So stay tuned for that, if not during San Diego Comic-Con. So we'll see how that goes down because we have all the different companies are going to be present at San Diego. So it'll be very cool. Very, very cool. And then also, hopefully, we'll see this prototype by San Diego. We have the listing for the Transformers Generation Studio Series Titan Class TF4, which would be the Age of Extinction Dinobot Scorn. So we're going to be seeing this guy as our next Titan Class Dinobot. And personally, a choice that I would have made too, because Scorn is awesome. All his figures are awesome. His deluxe was an awesome figure, even though it was a little tough to get initially. His Voyager figure was incredible. His Voyager, no joke, like if that thing came out today, would probably be sold as a leader class just because of just how much heft and plastic is in that figure. Like it almost doesn't even, it's like it's not even a Voyager by today's standards. So that was a really cool one too. And now we're going to be getting an awesome, actually, there was a tiny turbo changer of Scorn too. I have him over there. I'm just looking at it right now. It was in reddish orange. And then, we got this Titan that's going to be happening. So he's going to be cool. The only question is how big he's going to be, because technically from a size perspective, the Spinosaurus is actually bigger than a T-Rex. And he actually was kind of bigger than Grimlock in the movie. So I wonder how true to form this is going to be, but we'll see. We'll see. But he's a big boy. And right here, you see him standing next to, he's standing next to Crosshairs here from the movie. So it gives you an idea of scale, even, just how big these guys were. So that's going to be pretty cool. I guess you'd have to probably use like a core class / legend scale Crosshairs to be true to the Titan class, but still very, very cool. I dig it. Big boy, looking good. And they're slowly completing their Dinobots. So that means there's very few left. Year to year, month to month, but we're going to be getting more Dinobots. Probably again, maybe we'll see this at San Diego. Maybe that'll be the big, Evan or Mark pulling it out from under the table, giggity, at the Hall H panel, and going like, "Here we go, Spinosaurus. Here you go." And the last group of listings that we're going to talk about is another collaboration, but this one's going to be for 2027, celebrating the 80th anniversary of Tonka. Tonka has been around for 80 years. Their first release was in, oh my goodness, goes all the way back to 1947, I think it was. It was a dump truck diecast 80 years ago. Imagine 80 years ago. So there's going to be a bunch of different Transformers Tonka collaborations joining Tonkanator because we had that Devastator redeco. So there's going to be a Tonka X Transformers Bumblebee, a Tonka X Transformers Megatron, and then some kind of other separate assortment. The listings here have them in British pounds at $14.99. So that translates to about $19.80 USD. Let's say $20. So $20 USD. So this probably I have a feeling I could be wrong on this. It might be similar to what we got with the Monster Jam stuff where it's much more simplistic. So these might be on the much more simplistic side of transformations made for a younger demo. Again, the diecast stuff kind of does have a market for the younger demo. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. But at the $20 mark, if these are much more like deluxe-ish or like core-ish, probably will be simpler if they're $20. But we'll see. And again, this is all next year to celebrate the 80th anniversary of Tonka, which was acquired by Hasbro back in the 90s. And that's also how they ended up getting the GoBots as a result, as well as a few other things too. So yeah, man, good stuff. Good stuff. So that's also going to be happening in 2027. And that's it more or less for the news. Not much else really. It's a bit of a quiet week, so it kind of worked out with all the drama that happened weather-wise for us, but quite a few things. But we're not done yet because we have San Diego in hand stuff to show you guys today, to show you for the first time. T-Formers 2002. I still have a set of old style Tonka trucks from a flea market, or they like the big die-cast ones. I had one as a kid. I had like a huge one that was the like classic all die-cast Tonka. Like it had like a spool where you could bring down the crane, thing to pick up the dirt and the dirt collector and stuff. And I was probably sold at a garage sale or something. Maybe if my pop is watching the live stream today, he could explain what happened to it. But yeah, that's one of the few items. We didn't have many garage sales here in the Proto Man family. I think we only had like 2 in our entire lifetime. And needless to say, not much was sold. Not much was sold. So, but yeah, cool stuff. So we're we'll get into sponsorship, and then we'll talk about everything else that's going on, and then we'll jump into super chats and just chill for the rest of the night because we got a lot to catch up on. So first, let's talk Symbiote Studios plush pins and T-shirts. Again, San Diego Comic-Con is coming up very quickly after TFCon. We're gonna have a little bit of a rest, and then San Diego Comic-Con is going to be happening. And we have this bad boy here, the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, the G2 Grimlock, which we have today in package. We're not going to open them yet. Maybe we'll open them next week, but we got them today. Advanced copy from Symbiote. Super rare. If you could get it, you could get it, but chances are he's going to be selling out. That's just the unfortunate truth of things. We also got the San Diego Comic-Con bag that Symbiote's going to have for 2026. Very nice. Some of their other items, like their Catnip Bravo stuff that they're going to be doing there too. So you pick that up. But most importantly, all the pins, all the awesome pins. This is going to be my go-to, the Slag pin. We have a whole bunch of brand new pins that are going to be available. So let me pull up the slide of that one here. Where is it? That's the Ravage. The Ravage we didn't get yet. We're going to be getting the Ravage shortly. We'll have that to show you guys, hopefully before San Diego. So we got the new Ravage that'll also be debuting at San Diego, but that'll also be on the website afterwards. They'll have plenty of stock of that. Of course, you have the new Soundwave shirt. I'm rocking the Grimlock now today that they have, but this is going to be their new Soundwave shirt, which will also be debuting at San Diego Comic-Con. And of course, like I showed you guys, you have all the pins. These are like, let's grab the Optimus pin there. Look at that. So they come on nice double pin this time. 2 pin holders. Very cool. Got the Optimus, the Bumblebee, the Starscream, the Devastator. Let me get the Devastator. I always talk about the Legendary 7. That was a John Warden concept that was used with licensors. So you got 6 of the 7 here. Giggity. 6, 7, giggity. I mean, all that's really missing is Grimlock, but no way, Grimlock's there too. You know, technically, also we would be missing. You have Optimus, Bumblebee, Grimlock, Starscream, Devastator. All you'd be missing is a Megatron, but there's the Devastator one too. See, it has a purple packaging for that one for Decepticons. You got for Autobots there, so very, very cool. Devastator's much larger, obviously. And then, of course, you got the Dinobots. Brand new set of those two you could pick up. Looking good. Looking good. And they're much larger, too, than the past pins that they had at TFCon LA. These are the new sets. These will also be debuting at San Diego Comic-Con. Go pick those up, too. They're going to look pretty sharp. And again, I'm going to be rocking the Slag one for obvious reasons. Obvious reasons. Obvious reasons. But yeah, check that out. And of course, all the other stuff, My Little Pony, Magic the Gathering, and more. And more. Yeah, the 6-7 happened. You know what? I didn't know what 6-7 was until only recently. And it was only because of a South Park episode. Maybe I'm getting old. Maybe I'm getting old. But yeah, there's that. And of course, let's talk about Aaron Archer with the Toy Armada. Go check out the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer here on YouTube. A whole bunch of segments to check out. Long form talking about the Transformers and all the other brands that Aaron worked on throughout the years. Aaron will be back in business shortly with us. We're going to be doing more Toy Armada stuff. He'll be doing more lives in the future. He's just working on a very special project right now, which you guys will learn about at some point. And yeah, check that out, the Toy Armada and Aaron Archer. In the meantime, go pick yourself up a Posca painting from archermonster.com/shop. A lot of good stuff there on there. He's always updating it with new stuff. Sometimes he puts it up on the Monday and then it's gone before you even see it on the Tuesday. Like he puts a whole bunch of new art up. These are one-of-one paintings from Transformers history of the guy who worked on it. Great stuff here. Great stuff. And of course, go check out. Oh, you got to reach for my comic here. One moment. We're professionals here. We plan everything. Go check out my newest comic, Mega Man X. Issue number 4 has hit comic book stores. We actually just got the numbers for issue number 3 just recently, and we broke the top 150 in the world. Like we beat Harley Quinn, a Batman book, Ninja Turtles, Zorro, Conan the Barbarian. I don't know, there's a whole bunch of them. You could go look it up online. But we made the top 150, like just made 150. So that's awesome. Again, thanks to the love and support of you guys who picked up the book from the comic stores. I mean, my editor says it might even be more because we also sell direct through the website and we don't count those numbers on the comic charts. So who knows? Like, you know, Marvel and DC, they don't sell direct. They only sell through the comic shops and through Lunar Distribution and Penguin House. So they have like those numbers are those numbers. So who knows? Maybe we even made it higher. But yeah, comic's been doing really well. And again, issue number 4 is out right now. And next month, guys, is going to be, hold on, I'm prepared for this. The Final Battle, issue number 5. So next month, we'll be concluding the Mega Man X1 story. Of course, I won't be done. We'll be doing a bunch of other books too. But that'll be the conclusion of this one next month. Stay tuned for that. Also, next month will be the debut of the Timelines trade paperback, which you can pick up on Amazon. If you just type Daniel R. Snow, my real name, on Amazon, or Mega Man Timelines, the trade paperback will pop up on Amazon. So check that out too. A lot of good stuff going on. A lot of good stuff. So check that out. Also, Proto, those pins look too big for my sports jacket. They are a little larger than. Let me try to get one of the older pins to show you guys. Sec. I think I have one of the older pins nearby. So like this is like their shockwave pin that they had. So obviously it's considerably larger than their old pin. That's why it's double back, 2 pins. They're much larger pins. but people like large pins, I guess. I mean, look how big it is compared to like Zero and stuff, you know? Like, and this is a huge patch on my arm, and I'm a 6'1" guy. So it is what it is. But yeah, they're cool pins though. They're very, very cool. But yeah, so check that out too. And I want to give a shout out to my buddy, fellow Montreal writer, who I also see all the time. Shout out to Christopher Simone. He published his book, The Laughing Champions Dad Joke Book. So he even signed it for me. Look at that. Huh? So he put that out. You can pick that up on Amazon too. Just look up The Laughing Champions Dad Joke Book by Christopher Simone. It's a nice little book of dad jokes and everything. Again, a way to support a independent writer and stuff. And again, good friend of mine. So that's his little dad joke book. It's a good, I call it a toilet read. You know, you put it in the bathroom and you could just enjoy. And you can follow him on Instagram also, where he posts daily dad jokes. We're all old now, old writers. So check that out too. Where are we at here? Will they fit? I think they, I mean, here's the thing. Like, where's the, let me back to Slag. Like the Slag one, right? Like, I mean, it's not terrible. It's still pretty big. It's big, but I mean, I'm going to wear the Slag one. I like that it's double pinned because then that means there's less of a chance of me losing it. Because I've lost a pin or two back in the day, not symbiote ones, but like some really good transformer ones I had back in the day. I had a really nice Autobot one that I had for years, and then one day I went to a BotCon, I looked over and it was gone, and I was like, no, and I feel bad because like think about it, if the pin falls off, now it's like you have the spike, someone could step on that. Oh no, don't want that. So what's up, Bruticus 42? But yeah, so there's all of that going on. So again, support that. Thank you for the love and support from the comics. Go check out Christopher's book too if you want some dad joke love. Go check out the Toy Armada. Go check out Symbiote. I tell you to go support Hasbro, but you probably already do indirectly if you know it. So yeah, there's all of that. Now, let's talk about what we got this week and also the PO box. So first, what we got this week, not much in terms of stuff. It's more like what she got. She picked up this DeLorean here from the Speed Champions. Apparently, this is a new release, I guess, of Lego. She's the Lego person, not a big Lego person. She's the big Lego person, and so she was happy to pick up this one. She was very happy to get that. She got the Playmobil one, and now she's always wanted to get this one. Apparently, the other one that they did another DeLorean. She didn't like how that one looked when it first came out, so she was like, eh. So she got that. Me, I got a lot of little knickknacks and stuff here and there. Picked up, this was stuff that came in the mail. Oh, we got a super chat for $2 from Brainstorm. I've had the experience of stepping on a pin spike. Oh my goodness. You do not want to do that, my friend. I don't think I've ever done that ever. Like, especially in the garage, we have like all the nails that are everywhere and stuff when we're like fixing things. Ugh. That sounds painful though. At least that one doesn't require tetanus shot, does it? I don't know. But so picked up a few things here and there. I had a friend who's in Japan. He sends me a bunch of stuff every so often. And he just sent me a bunch of like knickknacks and stuff because obviously going to Japan now, sometimes some of the deals are few and far between now. But once in a while, he finds this and that. He went to a Mega Man pop-up event, and this was all that was left of the, I think it was celebrating Mega Man 2, I think it was. And so he went to that, and he just picked up a little acrylic Woodman for me. I was hoping to get a Crash Man or a Flash Man or a Metal Man, but they had Woodman, so it's always good to play with your wood. Giggity. And then they also had at the same Capcom event a whole bunch of acrylic Street Fighter stuff. This one's like metal, so that's pretty cool. It has Chun-Li, Vega, Ryu, Ken, and I think that's it. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them in there. Very cool with Ryu's background from Street Fighter 2. And then he found me these really cool Japanese keychains, and you guys know that I love collecting Japanese Ninja Turtle merch specifically. Like there's Ninja Turtle merch and then there's Japanese Ninja Turtle merch. That's kind of my weird niche. He found a bunch of these Japanese keychains of Ninja Turtles. Very, very cool. So these are like from 1991 in Japan. Like nice Leonardo there. No, no Raphael. They got Leonardo, Leonardo with a pizza or an okonomiyaki because it's Japanese, I guess. And he got a Donnie. So very cool. And then the last thing he sent me, this was a promotion that they had here in America, like I think like 2 years ago, and they only recently got it in Japan last year. They did the Hasbro like celebration, and it was like with Mr. Potato Head characters. Here, let me show this one closer. So it's like Mr. Potato Head using the Cyberverse designs and stuff. So like you could kind of like swap it and everything, and you know. So apparently they did like Bumblebee, uh, Grimlock, and I think Megatron and Optimus. And then it comes with like a sticker set of Cyberverse, excuse me, not Cyber World, Cyberverse designs. So he sent me that one too. So that was cool. That was awesome. Again, thanks to him. I don't know if he wants to be shouted out, use his real Japanese name. But yeah, and that's it more or less of that. That was in the mailbox from Japan, but we also got from the P.O. box. Let me just get everything here together. So first we got let me grab these. I was never able to get all of the McChangeables because they did not come out here in Canada, obviously because they put English on them. There was no French on the packaging, so you have to have French and English for stuff to be legal in Canada. I apologize for that for the rest of Canada. Um, but yeah, so shout out to. I wonder. So he sent me a letter too. Is Arch Geek in the chat? If he's not in the chat, because he also sent me a letter too with the package, and I don't know if he wants me to read if it was a personal letter or if it's something that he wanted to read online. But he did send me a bunch of McChangeables and so, like a bunch that I was missing. I'm still missing quite a few. But he did get a bunch that at least I was missing. So like the one I was looking forward to the most was this Fries, which is clearly like the updated version of Fry Force, you know. And again, the reason why these guys couldn't be released in Quebec is because there's just English all over the packaging, like fries there, even though it's like, you know, so they have to have French on them. Oh no, can't have that here in Quebec. Oh no, might convert kids to being English. But we got the cool Boobot, classic Boobot one. That one's awesome too. And then Exchange and a whole bunch of others. You know, these are great. Thank you so much, Arch Geek. That is absolutely great. I don't know if you're in the chat today. I don't know if you want me to read the letter that you sent, but thank you so much for sending that. Very, very cool. The journey continues to get all the McChangeables. I know that Michael Koo was able to hook me up with the uh, the box, the Happy Meal box, and some of the stickers, which were really tough to get. So that was kind of like, oh, that's at least those will be the harder stuff to get. At least I feel like I could probably find a full set of them online, although I don't want to pay what eBay is asking right now, unfortunately. But yeah, Patrick and I did manage to get all 16 when they were coming out. We had 6 McDonald's near us. Oh man. Well, see, I have a lot of McDonald's around me. It's just that they just don't, you know, the promotions that exist in the United States are different than the promotions that exist in Canada. It's always been like that. And I remember even as a little kid, I remember I'd see like a promotion on television, like they'd have a commercial for like a McDonald's promotion of toys, and I'd tell my mom, "Oh, I want to get those." And my mom would say, "What channel did you see it on?" And the twist with that was my mom would always say that because if it was on an American channel, like let's say Fox or ABC or, you know, like CBS, um, those would obviously be American McDonald's promotions. Where if I saw it on YTV, Teletoon, you know, those were Canadian channels. So then that would obviously be a Canadian promotion. So a lot of times I missed out on some really good McDonald's promotions throughout the years. Kind of sucks, but unfortunately, that's just the way the world works. But yeah. And then the last thing that I got in the mail, this came from the P.O. box. Of course, thanks to Mikey and Louie for sending them over from the P.O. box. And yeah, we got this beautiful Blockies Megatron looking real good. Love this Blockies design. So another beautiful Blockies model kit to build at some point. Look at all those sprues. Can't wait to build that one day. I got like a backlog of like, I guess these are what the champion class. I got a backlog of these that I still have to build. I have two Rise of the Beast Optimus Primals, Alt Mode, Gorilla, and Robot Mode. I got to build those ones. I always save them for like build events. Whenever I go to the build events of Gunpla and stuff in Montreal, I like to bring these with. Everyone's building Gundams. I'm building the robots in the skies. And the other big purchase that I was happy with was got to pick up this Torybot. This was Torybot number 1. Got this for a really good price. This guy, when he first came out, was pre-ordering for like $40, and then Akira Toriyama passed away. And then once Akira Toriyama passed away, this stupid thing ended up going for like $200. So I was like, I missed the pre-order, but I still want to get this. So finally I managed to snag one affordably, and it's very, very cool, and it's sentimental to me, but also kind of, it's something that's going to be staring at me now on the computer forever. Let me just kind of pull him out here. Giggity. Good old Torybot holding his pen that he used when he drew and wrote Dragon Ball. Very, very cool. Nice little sentimental piece there to Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, who I find a lot of inspiration from when I do a lot of my comics and stuff. Akira Toriyama, Jim Starlin, Chris Claremont, and Frank Miller. Those are my Mount Rushmore of comic creators that I get a lot of inspiration from. Todd McFarlane, I get inspiration from the business side, but not so much the comic side. But his business brain, I appreciate Todd McFarlane. But in terms of comic creators, man, those four, they influence a lot. So getting that Torybot finally affordably. I mean, I don't know what they're asking for on eBay now, but I mean, it was stupid at one point what this stupid thing was going for. It's just a PVC figure. It's just that when he passed away, everyone's like, oh my God, got to get this, you know? So that became wild. So I'm happy to finally have that. And that is going to sit forever on top of my tower, staring right back at me when I work on comics and stuff like that. Very, very cool. And what's cool about the pen actually comes out. And this was based off of Akira Toriyama's pen that he would use, or actually his ink pen that he would use whenever he would do manga. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Although Mr. Toriyama was also left-handed, just like me. So that's another nice little touch. Is Archgeek here? There's Archgeek. Archgeek, I just wanted to know, do you want me to read the letter that you sent, or is it just a personal letter? I just wanted to know beforehand. If it's a personal letter, I will read it later. But if you want me to read it on the air, it's your choice, my friend. I just showed your stuff that that you sent and everything. Apologize for doing it so early and you missing out. You can watch it, I guess, in the replay later. Yeah, I'm left-handed. It's funny. Me and Aaron Archer were both left-handed, and whenever we do events, like we're both like drawing or we're both like signing stuff, and it's funny, you see two people left-handed, everyone always points that out. Everyone always goes, oh, you're both left-handed. Stan Lee is left-handed. Who else in the comic world is left-handed? There's quite a few people in the comic world that are left-handed. It's like the other side of the brain that works or something. A lot of lefties. That's good to see. Jack Kirby is amazing too, but Jack is more of an artist. I mean, yeah, and I will argue for Jack. You could argue that Jack was also a writer, because some might say that Stan didn't have as much to do as people think. But Jack, I love Jack's art. I'm a cosmic universe Marvel kind of guy. Like I said, I like Jim Starlin because of Thanos and his Silver Surfer work. And you can't talk Silver Surfer without Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby's, I mean, it's Galactus and all his stuff, the Eater of Worlds and New Gods later on with DC. Like, geez. So, yeah, man. So good stuff. Did Arch say anything? I guess not yet. And the last thing that I got, which makes me very happy, is this big boy. Ugh, very happy to get this one. The Beast Wars Predacon box set. This reminds me of like the old BotCon days when you got like a whole bunch of cool figures in a nice box set. Actually get more figures than even the BotCon box set. So happy to get this. This is awesome. And I love that it's the kind of thing where you could take everything out of the package and it doesn't affect the presentation of the box. So like, man, that is gorgeous. Can't wait for when they do the Maximal one. And I'm lucky too because I only bought the Megatron and Optimus 2-pack from the Beast Wars Again reissues, I guess we'll call it, or repaints. So, and I bought it because it was really nice packaging, the Japanese packaging. So I didn't really, triple dip with the rest of these guys. So that's really cool. I dig that. Don't care if you read it, brother. Okay, then we will read it. We will read it. 1 second. So what do we got here? Dear Daniel Protoman Arsenault, hey man, here are the changeables that I was able to snag for you. These are really a blast. It's been fun watching my kids play with them, just as I did as a kid. Man, let me tell you something, just to go on a tangent, and I have them right here. McChangeables, I didn't have a lot of Transformer toys as a kid. We were poor. Transformer toys were expensive. Some of my very first Transformers include bootleg GoBot toys, McChangeables, the converters, which were like those red, white, and blue, pullbacks that McDonald's had at one point in SO. This guy right here, when I was a kid, I used to pretend that he was Alpha Trion. Like he was my little Alpha Trion, that like the Autobots could talk to because he was like an old man. Hey guys, I'm gonna build Optimus Prime. Good old Big Mac bot here. So like these guys, and this is my childhood one too. Like I have my childhood one of this and Fry Force. Those were the first two I had. I had the milkshake one. I lost it at some point, and then I got it years again, like another one years later at a BotCon because people were giving away at the time, people were giving away these McChangeables because no one cared about them. Now everyone collects them, but so like I love these guys. I have so much nostalgia for them as a kid. They're simple to transform. They were high quality plastic. I mean, geez, there's Hasbro toys today that don't use the same ABS plastic that these things use. So crazy. And these were like what? These were like free with your Happy Meal back in the day. You got a kids meal and it was free. So those were awesome. Very, very cool. And then you went on to say, just want to make sure I'm not missing anything here. Then you went on to say, thanks for everything you do for the Transformers and Mega Man community. I really enjoy watching and sometimes listening to your podcast. Well, a lot of people, a lot of artists, they always say they like listening to it because it's something they can work to while they listen, especially the long forms like this here. Hope you're able to run into you at one of these conventions. Well, my schedule right now is going to be TFCon coming up, San Diego Comic-Con, Otakuthon Montreal, which I heavily suggest if you're an anime fan to go to that. That show is insane how big that con is. It is the second biggest anime convention in North America. It is huge. 4 floors, nonstop, 24 hours it runs. The dealer room closes, but the con keeps going for 24 hours, like screenings and panels and game events and signings. They just got the voice actor, and they get Japanese voice actors, which is always rare. They just got the voice actor for Transformers Superlink Landmine. So like, that big combiner guy from Energon, Landmine, they got the Japanese voice actor for him. Which of course he obviously did a bunch of other stuff for like My Hero Academia and everything, but that's the Transformer connection. He's going to be there, so I'm going to try to get his autograph and a whole bunch of other people. Like it's going to be great. I'm going to be a guest there too, obviously for the Mega Man connection and stuff. We're going to try to bring other people next year. Stay tuned for that. But definitely Montreal Otakuthon, if you could come down for that, that's a great one. Hope able to run into you at one of these conventions. Archgeek, P.S. Great work on the comic. You're knocking it out of the park and doing us proud. Well, thank you. Thank you for the love and support, my friend. Thank you. I mean, I'm just trying. I'm trying to do my best with the comic thing. I did comic stuff here and there, and now I kind of have a really good ongoing thing going on with Mega Man, which is a dream for me. I mean, if that's been my screen name. It's been my screen name since like 1996, 97, and it was like my nickname for years when I would write it on desks in high school. So living the dream. Where are we at here? My childhood Transformers were Hot Wheels, and they were close enough. Well, Jaws D, it was funny. Jaws D used to say he would take his Hot Wheels toys and he would bend the axles so that they would kind of be like the DeLorean from Back to the Future when it flies. Like we used to do we used to do anything we can back then to make sense of stuff. Where is Otakuthon? So Otakuthon is actually based out of Montreal. Uh, Montreal, Canada is the central hub of where anime started in North America. Like if you had to trace where anime really started when it was being imported into North America, I talk crap about the French all the time because of all the trouble it creates for business and everything. But the one thing you got to give credit to the French for is because they refused to have Anglophone content on television, they imported Japanese content as original content. So if you were a French Canadian growing up, you had a lot of anime on television going all the way back to the 1960s. And yeah, you could argue Speed Racer and stuff like that, and Astro Boy and Eight Man that was on black and white televisions back in the day in the 1960s. But a lot of it really started in Quebec with the imports and stuff like that and was consistent in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. It was just crazy. And so as a result, it's like a central hub for the anime community here, and Otakuthon is massive. Like we used to think like Anime North or Anime Texas was huge, and then you go to Otakuthon, you're like, oh damn, like this thing is insane. It's like Comic-Con level huge. So we're just doing a bunch of cool stuff, and it's gonna be cool. So check that out if you get a chance. Check out Otakuthon on just throw it in Google. You'll see. I'll be announced as a guest later on, but you'll see I'm a guest on there and a bunch of other great guys. They're slowly announcing everyone because that's going to be in August. So still plenty of time, still a good month and so away from that. Any word on the Blockies Mega Man sets? Well, right now with the Blockies Mega Man sets, what's happening with that is the master license for Blockies when it comes to doing the Mega Man stuff is because they're model kits. Kotobukiya right now is doing the Mega Man X model kits, and you have Jada that's doing the Mega Man Classic stuff. So right now, Blockies is only able to do Zero Series, EXE, ZX. And I mean, if they want to, Legends. So that's the ones that they're only able to do right now, but later on, those will come. It's just right now because of how the licensing is, they could only do specific Mega Man stuff. It's kind of the same thing with a lot of these blockies here too. If another company is doing, certain brands of Transformers, they kind of have certain stuff in their contract for licenses and everything. That's why a lot of the Kotobukiya stuff is very like stylized. It's not like 100% true G1. It's kind of like a stylized kind of G1 because other companies have the licenses for that to do that. It's just how it is. TFCon Twins definitely going to make a trip there one of these years. We softly dropped out of anime. Well, the cool thing about Otakuthon is it's a 4-floor convention. The first 2 floors are anime. That's it. That's without you know, but then you have the 3rd floor, which is only video games. The 4th floor that is only TCGs and tabletop and stuff like that. And then all the small rooms on each floor are all running their own little things too and everything. And next year, I mean, I'm trying for it. A little bit of a, long form spoiler. I'm trying to get Aaron down there because it will be the 20th anniversary of the Michael Bay movies. I want to get Aaron down there. I want to get other Hasbro people down there. And even though it's technically not anime, it's a Western, Michael Bay movie. but it's still part of that ecosystem of geek culture and stuff. And even though it's an anime convention, there's so much other stuff going on there. So I love it. It's a great show. It's a great show. I love going to it every year. What did Archgeek say? Do you think we're going to see any trouble with blockies with the Hasbro? Well, see, Hasbro with their make it's. I mean, that's clearly, that's clearly Hasbro going like, wait a minute, how much does it cost to do this? Wait a minute, you get the customer to assemble it. We don't have to pay a factory worker. Wait a minute, like this is like your costing is 50 cents a unit, and then you charge $12.99. What? So I think they're starting to want to try again with the model kit market. It's a stop and go with them. I mean, look, Hasbro has tried to, through Tomy, tried to get Zoids to be a thing. I love Zoids. No joke. Just today, I was talking about Zoids with my wife. We were at a hobby store in Montreal called Illuminaire, something like that. It's like a hobby shop kind of thing. It's a franchise here in Quebec. I rarely buy stuff out of there because it's really expensive. Like it's a little overpriced, but it's cool to go in there just to kind of look at all their stock and inventory because they're really big stores. And I was just looking at the Zoid stuff, and I'm like, those look so good. They look so good. I love Zoids. Love Zoid stuff. So, but because it's just you assemble it and then it has the mechanism stuff. Like, love Zoids. Every time I like see cheap Zoids model kits, I remember one of the past BotCons. I don't know if my mod is in the chat today. He was with me. Um, one of my mods for the chat here, but John was with me at one of the BotCons, and I remember like picking up a whole bunch of cheap pre-assembled Zoid model kits. Like they were already assembled, but because they were already assembled, they were like $5 to $10 each. And I like bought a bunch of them. It was like, what are you doing? You go to all the way to BotCon. I think it was BotCon 2014 or something. And you went all the way to BotCon just to buy Zoids, you know? Loved it. Loved it. So yeah, like, but they've tried. Hasbro tried Zoids. The market just doesn't like it. They tried with Beyblade. The early Beyblade stuff was kind of model kitty. You kind of had to build the early plastic gen Beyblade stuff from 2000, 2001. After that, they made everything not model kitty. Everything's now it's all just die cast, and you don't have to cut things off of sprues. Cut it all off of sprues and stuff. They simplified everything with Beyblade with metal gen, if you want to call it that, the metal era, and then going forward, they saw Bandai, during Gundam Wing in the late 90s, early 2000s, try to bring model kits to Walmarts and Targets. It didn't work. The Western market is very stubborn when it comes to model kits. They really are. But blockies, because they're just crushing it in the smaller markets. You go to like smaller independent stores, you go to a Hobby Lobby, you'll see a lot of these. And now slowly the blockies are starting to show up, at least the small ones are starting to show up in Walmarts and stuff. And it's kind of a perfect storm because of the blind box nature and what Labubu created. So people are kind of getting used to that. And a lot of model kit stores, and like I said, smaller independent companies are willing to pick up blockies and sell them in their stores. And Hasbro's just going like, what are the margins on that again? Wait a minute. Like, again, the customer builds it. We save money there. That's something that we've been trying to do with Lego for years, with our, Creo and all of that. And before that, Built to Rule. So I'm very curious what's going to happen with Make It's, because it's something where, are you going to shoot yourself in the foot with your own licensors, or is it completely different? Make It's is not what we think it is. Maybe it's not model kits. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Where are we at here? Zoids and my personal favorite Starios. Yeah, man. Wind up giving, some of them are wind up, some of them use batteries. The bigger ones usually use batteries. The smaller ones, like the the Sea Shark, one of my personal favorites, and the Manta Ray. Then you have there's so many good ones. So many. I like a lot of the aquatic ones because they had really cool. The aquatic ones are always cool because they always want to do a thing where they're they're moving their whole body and swaying back and forth. That always looks really cool. They had like a hammerhead shark one. I forget the name of that one. That was really cool. But yeah, you know, I just hope that whatever it is, it works out. I hope that they don't derail what Blockies is doing, because Blockies is crushing it. Like, they are doing a fantastic job. Blockies are affordable. Blockies are incredible. And in all honesty, I think the whole thing wasn't even because of Transformers. I really don't even think it has anything to do with the Transformer thing that's going on. It's because Blockies is doing a Star Wars line in their champion class, that if you picked up their Star Wars stuff, it's cheaper than their Black Series stuff. It's just as big as the Black Series stuff. It's just as high quality as the Black Series stuff. And it makes you go, obviously the Black Series has way more selectability of characters and everything, and that softer PVC that's used for their figures that gives it a little more of a flexibility, as opposed to Blockies that are more of a hard ABS model kit. But they really make Hasbro go like, like, you look at their like Stormtrooper Han and Luke and you go, huh, how much are these again? What's a Black Series? Black Series are like, what, 35 now, 25, and a Blockies is 10. Oh boy, that's where they're kind of going like, I think we got to start really rethinking this. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Hose is powered by, yeah, man. Zoids are awesome. Zoids are awesome. I have so many of them that are like built, and they're just kind of sitting in my Gundam box, because I just don't have space for them. I would love to buy a nice big Zoids kit, put aside like 6 hours, and just go to town on it. Probably would be something from like Zero Century. I like the Zero Century stuff. Probably be something from that. Be really cool. Really, really cool. But yeah, but that's it more or less. That was just the big Beast Wars thing. I got a few other little things here and there, but nothing really worth mentioning. Just kind of like some comic book stuff and everything. But that's it more or less. I think next week I'm probably going to have to hit up the comic shop. I have to pick up some bags and boards, because TFCon Toronto, I will have a table, obviously, at TFCon Toronto like every other past year. But we're going to have all the Mega Man books there. So, and we'll have even the Alex Milne cover also. So if you want to get Alex to sign that one, I think we'll have like 10, 15 copies of that one. So limited, go pick it up while you still can when I get it. We'll have the Alex Milne Mega Man cover. We'll have the Don Figueroa Mega Man cover. We'll have the Marcelo Materi Mega Man cover. We'll have the Guido Mega Man cover. Some of those are colored by Josh Perez, so we'll have the Josh Perez stuff, all the stuff that I worked on. We'll have a whole bunch of stuff at the show, as well as we'll do the parts party. And next week right here, the TFCon exclusive, which we'll reveal. So stay tuned for that. We'll have that also. We'll have a limited run of that one, which will be at the show. A lot of stuff planned. And don't worry, American fans, the TFCon exclusive that is available in Toronto will just be a short run for the Toronto people. And then we'll have a wider release at TFCon Orlando when we cross that bridge. Hopefully. Hopefully. Don't want to make too many promises on that, but hopefully. But yeah, good stuff. Where are we at here? Bruticus 42, the one gas station convenience store franchise in my area, bought a ton of Blocky Galaxy number 7 in December number 4. Really real cheap for the last holiday. Well, that's the thing. The investment for case assortments of them. I wish I could reach over to the ones that Michael Koo sent me, and the one that we have to put in the TFCon charity auction. But the cool thing about Blockies is, like, a case, sometimes you could get a case sometimes as cheap as $20-$30 depending on your distributor. And then at that point, if like a case has 12 different figures in it, you just do the math. It's like sometimes $3 a unit, $2 a unit. You talking about profit margins and stuff. What's up, Aaron? Like, it's something where it's so worth it. Like, they're so great, and the quality of them is just, I mean, they're spectacular. They really are. Like, you could just do some wild, crazy poses, and they come with multiple hands, and it's just, like the articulation is crazy. You can put it all the way back there, but then all the way forward like that too. Like, just incredible little figurines that just, for the cost of admission, I can't imagine why not. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. But yeah, that's it more or less of the stuff. Yeah, I think that's it. That's it. That's it. It's a little bit of a mess down here because we're getting ready for TFCon, so we've been sorting a lot of stuff and just getting everything ready. But we have the exclusives that here they're off camera. We'll be showing you that next week, and then some, and then some. But so we'll open it up to super chats and questions. The only other thing that I got, but I can't talk about it. It's something that's going to be in the charity auction in a couple weeks from now. So got a certificate here. Proof of authenticity. So stay tuned for that. Got all that ready. A lot of cool stuff that we're going to be happening at the TFCon charity auction. It's a shame that we don't have a proper charity auction at the USA shows because it'd be cool to bring some of that stuff there. We have 2 items. I was talking to Colin, and Colin's thinking maybe having one of those items this year, and then maybe we'll save the item for a future time. It'll be the big centerpiece one, so we're kind of still discussing that, but we'll see. We will see what happens with it. Media Mac, hey Proto, is it possible to ever get back the real Beast Wars in animation? Is a full reboot the only way to do it? Well, I mean, look, never say never. I mean, it used to be back in the day, oh, you can never go back and like continue an old story. It's been too long. You can't go back and revisit something. But I mean, we live in a world now where the Tron movie exists. The first like new Tron movie, not the recent one, Tron Legacy, where it's like, yeah, you could go and do a movie that's a sequel to something that came out 35 years ago, and you're just expected for people to catch up because we live in a world today that everything is easily accessible. It used to be back in the day, like think about it, right? It used to be back in the day, oh, you want to do a sequel to Beast Wars 30 years after the fact? If you would have said that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it's like, well, then how are they going to catch up? There's no, like, they'd have to find DVDs or old VHSs. Now it's like, I mean, someone uploaded all of Beast Wars in HD on YouTube. Beast Wars is on Tubi for free to watch. Like, it's all over the place. So it's something where if people need to do homework, it's free homework. It's right there. Like, if you have a smart TV or a tablet or a computer with the internet, you could catch up to that. Where back then, to do that kind of homework, to expect the customers to do that kind of homework would have been difficult. They would have had to extra invest. They'd have to buy a DVD box set off of Amazon or somehow find old VHSs on eBay or whatever, so it's different. And that's why I feel like something like Beast Wars, look, if they told me, yeah, hey, they're going to do a hypothetical season 4, like let's say Beast Machines never happened, hypothetical season 4. And yeah, some of the creators are no longer with us. Some of them have passed away since then. But it's like, they're going to bring some of the, the people back. They're going to bring back most of the Ocean Group cast, the David Kays, the Gary Chalks. It would not surprise me when things are down, when they're, confused creatively what to do with the Transformers brand. That's when stuff that you would never expect could happen. So it wouldn't surprise me. Arch Geek said it the best. X-Men 97 is a insanely prime example where they could take something that happened almost a decade ago. 2 decades ago, 20 years ago. X-Men 93 ended in 1997. That was the last season, which was done by the terrible Korean studio, ACOM Productions. That's why last season was ugly looking. But it ended in 97. And then 19 years later, they were like, hey, we could just start off where we left. And Disney Plus could get away with that because if you wanted to do a catch up, it was right there. Hey, you know where you're watching X-Men 97? That streaming service? Guess what's on that same streaming service? All the rest of X-Men 93, So you could catch up on all, 7 seasons, or 6 seasons. So I could totally see something like that happening. Now, is it happening tomorrow? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? It has to be justifiable. It has to be at a time where it's like, can we get away with this? Are the chips down so much that we have to go? I always feel like when it comes to current Hasbro, there's no need to do the surefire thing at a time when things are still pretty good. And yeah, okay, Transformers 1 didn't do well in the box office, but toy sales are still very consistent. So it's something where you might as well do experimental things right now to see if something like catches. And when all the chips are down, when everything is weird, when nothing is doing well, then you could go, okay, let's do Beast Wars. Let's do G1 season 5 if you don't want to count the Tommy Kennedy episodes. Let's do G1 season 5. Let's do Beast Wars season 2. Let's do animated season 4, even though, like, Derek Wyatt is no longer with us, and in all honesty would feel weird doing it without him. I still feel it's weird doing. I think everything that's made that's related to animated after the fact just feels weird. Like, I know there's that comic out there. I understand that, other individuals that touch the brand are involved with it, but if Derek's not there, I don't know. It just feels weird. It just feels weird. Derek was the heart and soul of that whole thing, and him not being there, I don't know. A person that can't live without a heart, you know? Uh, Tom Laney, Wild King could be the new Beast Wars. I mean, Wild King in a lot of ways is. I mean, if it had a larger budget and was a 22-minute episode thing, could totally be seen as the next Beast Wars. It could be as a spiritual successor in a lot of ways, but unfortunately, it isn't. It even has the same kind of vibe and style, like the packaging. Like when you look at, if you look at like, let me grab. Do I have one nearby? The Wild King box. Is it nearby? No, it isn't. Oh, I have the light long one. Yeah. You know, kind of has a similar Beast Wars style. Like, especially look at the way that the logo is. Beast Wars' logo in Japan, which I don't have a Japanese Beast Wars box nearby, but it's very similar. Very, very similar. The vibe is similar there. T Formers 2002, a decently, hugely successful example is Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, I will, but that's what Hollywood is willing to do now. They're willing to kind of like, hey, like, you would have like you wouldn't never, like back in the 90s or even the early 2000s, go, hey, we're going to do like a sequel to ET. Oh, it's too far away, or like Goonies or any of these it's too far away. People don't remember these things. They'd have to go out and rent a movie. The logic is, it's like, we don't want the customer, in order to enjoy this new movie, to have to go back and invest money, because they won't. They won't. But now, because streaming is such a passive thing in people's spending, like, people don't even think about all the streaming services they're part of. It's almost just like, it's just a part of their lifestyle. It's not part of my lifestyle, but it's definitely a part of many of people's lifestyle, that streaming services are just part of their household, that it's like, yeah, they have access to this stuff free kind of, to a degree. Wasn't it 30 years ago? I don't know. Which franchise is talking about? You're probably right. I'm just doing the numbers quickly in my head here, you know. Whatever franchise. If we're talking Beast Wars, that would be 30 years ago. If we're talking X-Men, yeah, that would be 30 years ago, because it would be 93. So it'd be like 27 years, I guess, because I think it came out in, I think X-Men 97 came out in what, 2000, it was like 2014, I think it was. I remember I like watched it all in one shot and I loved it. It was really good. Really, really good. Although it did condense a lot of different storylines in the comics. It's like, we're gonna have like the Cable origin story, and a little bit of the post Phoenix saga stuff with the fake gene and the clone gene, but then the Wolverine losing his adamantium, with what's happening with, continuation of Executioner song, and going into, you know uh Agenda Holocaust and all of that crazy thing. So, and then a little bit of Magneto as the headmaster and his outfit, but that's like 80s, Chris Claremont X-Men. Like, there were so many different stories there, all crunched into what, 13 episodes. So that was the only negative with X-Men 97. So I think Top Gun Maverick did so well because they were in the jets. Well, I hope so. I love the original Top Gun movie. That's like a like I call like a top five movie soundtrack. There are certain movies that the instrumental and the vocal soundtracks usually they have two separate albums where like both of them just knock it out. Like the Rocky movies, the vocals, especially like Rocky 3 and Rocky 4, the vocal versions are just and then the Vince DiCola did Rocky, just Rocky 4. Uh those are like top 5 soundtrack movies of all time. Star Wars obviously will go in fall into that. 86 movie Transformers. I could go on and on, but like man, like the Top Gun movies, great music, great soundtracks. That always helps. Music is a very big key component sometimes to the success of certain movies and how they go from just oh that was a really good movie to iconic. Like you could have a movie that you like, but like you might not really remember the soundtrack. Like I love like what's a good movie like Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone. That's like a fun action, deep dystopian future kind of movie. Great movie. I can't tell you anything about the soundtrack. you know so it's something where like a really good movie just also has like a soundtrack. Like that's why people love the Goonies. You got that Cyndi Lauper song, you got the great soundtrack for that movie. Like that's what makes it iconic you know so and I think the 80s was guilty of a lot of that. The 80s was always guilty of having a lot of good music, no surprise. Don't want to sound biased, but yeah, a lot of good music came out of there. Archgeek, what are you saying, Archgeek? Hasbro is going to start a streaming channel in more sense. Uh, revives G1 or Beast Wars. I mean, look, Hasbro right now is really trying to figure out from a media standpoint how to capture the younger audience. That's the most important thing. I mean, Chris Cox talked about the game studios because let's be real, if you want to get the younger audience, you're going to have to do it through the game studios. There's a whole generation of kids now, from the Gen Zs to the Gen Alphas, that are kind of going backwards. They're kind of like, like I know this sounds crazy. A lot of them are almost kind of going like, ew, like smartphones, like that's not cool. Like a lot of them want flip phones now. They want more analog technology. They're playing retro games because of ease of access of retro games through emulation. They're doing more like what I do, which is just, hey, if you got to use computers and social media, just do it at a desktop or a laptop where you're kind of more, you're not just glued to your phone for social media. And as a result of that, Hasbro's seeing that. And they're going, okay, maybe we shouldn't go all in on social media and streaming services. But the one consistent is video games are still staying the same. People still want Switches. They still want the latest PlayStations or Xboxes. So and again, if you have a gaming PC or a Steam Deck, that's always going to be consistent. So they're going to stick with the gaming stuff for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. So
must be stopped.
But yeah, that's the way I kind of see it. Snell World, Kenny Loggins was my soundtrack of my childhood. Hey man, Danger Zone. That's the stuff. T-Formers 2002, Trying to Imagine 86 without Stan Bush. Yeah, well, I mean, there's still a lot of really good music there. And I'm not trying to knock Stan Bush, but I mean, like Kick-Axe, which was what the name that they didn't want to use on the soundtrack, but like Instruments of Destruction, Hunger, like all of those other guys. Great stuff. They're all great. Nothing's going to stand in my way. I could totally see, uh, someone like Survivor who did like some of the Rocky soundtrack, like filling in for Stan Bush and being part of that. I mean, and are we gonna all forget about the Scotty Brothers' number one selling album, which was Weird Al Yankovic, "Dare to Be Stupid," and "Eat It." So that soundtrack does just as well. Although I'd have to say "Dare to Be Stupid" is probably the weakest song on the soundtrack. No offense to Weird Al, I love Weird Al, but definitely one of the weaker components of it. Media Max getting my onslaught on Monday from Big Bad Toy Store. Stoked. I have something coming in the mail too, but I think it's some manga stuff that I've been ordering because needless to say, I've been trying to catch up on some individual manga chapters. Mr. Logan Paul kind of screwed up everything, and now everyone's speculating on English manga volumes. So I'm like going like, oh no, I need to get chapter 27 of Eye Shield, which is a football manga that I was reading. Like I'm missing number 27. Now I got to go track it down because people are speculating on English manga volume chapters. And I'm like, oh no. So I'm been trying to catch up on what I'm missing. Because what would happen is back in the day, I had a local comic store. I had a pull bin for even manga chapters, but once in a while they'd miss it for whatever reason, which sucked. And like I wouldn't realize it until it was like way too late. Like I get my pull bin, and you get your pull bin like I would go every second Wednesday to the comic shop, and then like you'd find out like a month or two later, wait a minute, like you get the next manga chapter and it'd be like 28, and I'm like, wait, I have 26, I have 28. What happened to 27? It's too late. And then you go on Amazon and the pre-orders are already over, and then it becomes a mess. So needless to say, I'm still trying to catch up on a few that I'm missing of this and that. The only one that I refuse to buy is the English language Dragon Ball. They're all censored. I hate that. I just have the French versions, and I'll just stick with those for now until one day Viz gets some balls, some Dragon Balls, and actually uncensors Dragon Ball for once. I don't understand why they do that. I understand, oh, we want to market it to a teenage demographic. Too bad. Dragon Ball was in Shonen Jump in Japan, ages 5 to 13. Get some balls, okay? Quit being offended by everything in the world, you know? So I want to own an English translation, a true to English translation of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, but it's all censored in the English language version. So, Snell World, I got Onslaught coming with Titan Grimlock and Broadside. Well, Titan Grimlock is hype. That one's really cool. That's a big boy. I'm gonna bring to my parts party. I have the old Chomp and Stomp Grimlock, which is like Titan scale. I have one that I'm gonna bring for sale. I've had one for a while, so I'm gonna bring that. I got like a bunch of them throughout the years, and I've been slowly selling them because they were like on crazy clearance at one point. So I got them like super cheap. I think I'm asking like $20 for it. I'm not asking a lot, 20 Canadian or 25. I forget what the sticker was on it, but yeah, with the big clear translucent sword that's like bigger than most leader class figures. So I'm gonna bring that and a bunch of other things. I don't like the charity auction is gonna be great, but the parts party I'm gonna bring a bunch of crazy stuff too. So what we got here? T-Formers 2002. Yeah, I got the English DBZ books. Only currently know the English, and I want to read, but I only want to read. Well, see, the one thing is, at least, yeah, the translation is fine. Nothing is censored there except some of the swearing. Um, the thing is, if you directly translate, so Vegeta would say Kisama a lot, and Kisama. I mean, the problem is that so the English language, every language when they tackle swearing pulls from different things, right? So like in French, when you have swearing, it's the church. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get flagged, but it's always stuff related to the church, right? And then Anglophone swearing is a little bit of the church, but it's also a little bit sexual, right? So Vegeta would always say Kisama. In Japanese, their swearing is also derived from sexual terms. So like the B word or like the other B word, the BA or the BI. Ch. Kisama kind of pulls from that, but it's more the BA. I don't want to get flagged here. YouTube's being weird. Um, And he would say that a lot, but they can't put that in the English language book because then it's going to put it in a different, so he'll just say darn, or, I don't even think they could say damn. They could only say darn. So, it's not true to form because Vegeta is a little more vulgar. Obviously, Goku might play it a little more cleaner, but Vegeta and Piccolo, they'll say Kisama. But yeah, but aside from that, the written words are more or less true to form. Nothing censored there, more or less. But it's the visuals, the holes in chests and blood and this and that, and certain nudity and different things. I mean, what am I angry about a young Goku not being naked? No, but I want Akira Toriyama's original panels to be true to form. You know what I mean? I want to own his original material. That's just how I am. I am very strict with that. Like if I'm playing a video game and I find out like, oh, the English version is censored, but if you get like the we call it the Asia version, which is still English, but it's sold in like the Asian regions, that one's uncensored, I'll go and buy that one. That's what happened with the Double Dragon. I think it was the Double Dragon collection for the Switch. The Western version was censored for whatever reasons. Oh no, Kunio's butt. No, oh my God, some guy's butt. So they like censored it and probably other stuff too. So I got the Asia version just so it would be uncensored. I like to own the artistic vision of the original creators. That's just how it is. I'm very obsessed with stuff like that because it's the same thing. Like I don't like playing remakes of video games until I play the original like if you're someone who loves Dragon Quest, right? Like they've remade those games so many times. I feel if you're going to play any of those games, play the original first, just to understand what was going on when those games first came out, and it gives you perspective. And then you could appreciate those remakes afterwards. Who's playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth without playing the original first? That's madness. Like, are you crazy? Go play the original, appreciate what existed in that PS1 era, even if it's dated to you if you're a younger viewer, but then you'll appreciate it when you then play the remaster. And the remaster is quite different from the remake. There's a lot of new material there. So, Viz does have a mild swearing throughout different series. Yeah, they do. They do. Viz does have different, stuff going on there. But the way Dragon Ball is marketed in the West is always marketed like, oh, hey, like kids should be able to watch this. Like it should be TV safe. And that's the problem is that like when you go to a bookstore, sometimes bookstores will have their manga sections separated. You'll have like manga for kids and then you'll have manga, right? Like just here's JoJo and My Hero Academia and Attack on Titan. And then they'll have like the manga for kids and that'll be like the Nintendo mangas, like the Zelda stuff, the Pokemon mangas, Pokemon Special as it was called in Japan, which even those are censored, by the way, the Western versions. And then of course, Dragon Ball falls into that. They'll have like a work safe One Piece, if you want to call it that, like One Piece with censorship in it, because some of the girls are a little spicy, especially some of the newer characters that were introduced. So it's something where, to me, I always want source material. I want the original source material. I want it, always done like that. It is what it is. Robbie Musso, what's up? What are you doing, Robbie? Why are you watching this junk? Robbie, I'll be seeing you at San Diego soon. Robbie has I don't have his book nearby. It's already packed away. Damn it. Already packed it away. I have Robbie's awesome alternator flavored book. His little pitch. Robbie, tell everyone about your awesome Transformer adjacent book that you'll probably have some copies of at San Diego. I got a nice signed copy from Robbie. It was really cool. But yeah, I'll be seeing you soon too. A lot of people. I'm looking like July is insane. July is like, imagine like there is still a 50-50 chance I'm probably going to be going to Japan in a few days because a certain company just, flies you flies you out, what do you call it? Standby. But there's a 50-50 chance with Japan. Um, and then, of course, next week after that is going to be TFCon. And then next week after that is going to be the Albany Comic Con. And then next week after that is going to be San Diego Comic Con. And then 1 week after that, I could breathe. And then a week after that is Otakuthon Montreal. That's the biggest, second biggest anime convention in North America. So boom, 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 boom. It is going to be wild. Finishing up on the actually first issue. Is it going to be ready in time for San Diego? Hoping that, yeah, get it done in time for San Diego. I want to see that. Go check out Robbie's stuff. Robbie, you have it on your Facebook, right? Facebook, Robbie Musso. Go check out what he's working on there. He's doing some good stuff over there. Doing some good stuff. So go check that out, guys. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to go get it out of my comic room. One moment. You made me do it. Riveting content staring at Proto Man's chair. What an amazing chair. What an amazing chair. There we got Divine Circuits. Check that out. Robbie even had a nice little bookmark there. Check that out, guys. Robbie Musso on Facebook. His nice little Transformer adjacent series. Give you a little preview of that. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that cool? But not only does it have the cool race cars, it also has more cool race cars, Transformers, but hold on. The waifus, because you got to have waifus, you know? Check it out. I guess Robbie Musso on Instagram too, maybe. I don't know. Robbie, plug it. I don't know how to plug it. I don't know the links. You'll be at BotCon too. Okay, there you go. The problem with BotCon is I think it overlaps with something. Does BotCon overlap with TFCon Toronto? I don't remember. BotCon wasn't on the radar this year for me for some reason. I think it was because of that. But yeah. Media Max, Proto, you excited for Marvel Tonkon Fighting Soul? Looks good. It looks good, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm always hesitant with some of these Marvel products, so I always want to like check it out with a grain of salt. I mean, the only thing that Marvel's been doing that's been consistently getting my approval has been Marvel Rivals. Artistically, product-wise, game-wise, keep that up, Marvel. But no surprise, it's done by a third-party company that's not in America, so no surprise on that one. T-Formers 2002, gotta be careful, Proto, even the chairs are gonna take over. Yeah. The and-a-seat chair. They don't even carry it anymore. Checks in the mail, Dent. Don't worry about that, my friend. Don't worry. I always want, look, I'm a very blessed individual, in terms of luck in life. Great significant other, great, hobby to be a part of with a great community. And everything I put my mind to always works out in the end. I like to feel I'm the living embodiment of put the work in and the universe gives back. And, I always turn to my wife and I always go, you know what? If you would have told me 5 years ago, I'd be steering the Mega Man brand with this name that I've been rocking for 30 years, I would have thought you were crazy. And here we are, So I always want to make sure all my friends always do well. That's why, again, the cover C's of all the Mega Man comics have been Transformer creators because I want, those guys to have gigs and to be able to be featured and celebrated and stuff. I want all my friends to do well creatively. I want people to find purpose in the arts and stuff. Like, I mean, people, like, they've always said, like, if everyone was rich and we didn't have to worry about working and everything, and we didn't have to worry about bills and stuff, everyone would then turn to art. Everyone would start doing art. Everyone would start playing sports. Everyone would try to find a purpose that isn't the grind, you know? And, guys like me and you, Robbie, we're the lucky few that are able to make money while pursuing the arts, We're the lucky few. So, but I always want to push my friends who are in those areas. Ninjatron, who's in the chat here too, like all of his reach for his stuff, you know, feature Ninjatron here, all of Ninjatron's stuff. I always keep your stuff nearby, Dylan, because I like to show off your stuff too and your cool Samurai Pizza Cat sticker, Are you going to do more of these, like of Transformer Mario stuff? Because I dig that. That's really cool. I mean, I love Samurai Pizza Cats also, but like, damn, that's cool. Like I always want people to find their place. We live in a world today of a lot of mental health problems. And I feel I've stood by it as someone who loves working out and doing sports. I've always felt that, two things that'll solve mental health, in my opinion, is exercise, working out, like group sports, because that creates community and purpose and direction in life and goals and ambitions, and the arts, the flip side of it, people who draw and create. And, you can make fun of Chris Chan all you want with Sonic Chew, but he's being creative and he's creating his own world and the arts and everything, You can make fun of him all you want, but I mean, he's doing more than 99% of people I know who say one day I'm going to write that comic. One day I'm going to draw that comic. One day I'm going to do something, you know? Are you doing something new, Ninjatron? I want to know. Oh wait, I'm going to try to do a DLC with 2 more characters this year. Okay, cool. I look forward to it. So it's something where it's like that's something where it gives people direction, you know? And I've been blessed, man. I've been so lucky in life, but I think a big part of why I've been so blessed is because I firmly believe, like, I'm not a religious person, but I have this my own little religious belief of, you put the energy into this universe, meaning hard work, ambition, dreams, goals, it comes back. It comes back. If you don't put that energy out, if you're lazy, if you sit around, you wake up that morning and you decide to just doom scroll or just watch TV, and then you then later on that day go, why is my life not going the way it should? Because you didn't put that energy out there. When you go out and do sports, when you go out and do exercise, that's putting the energy out. It comes back. Your body gets tough. Your mind gets better. I mean, I can't stress enough. When you go to the gym and you have a good sweat and then you leave that gym, you feel like $1,000,000. You feel like the greatest thing in the world. It could be hot yoga. It could be a deep workout of heavy weightlifting. Doesn't matter what it is. When you leave that gym after you hit the showers, you feel amazing because the endorphins, it all just goes to your brain. You feel incredible. And it's like, it's those little things that people are missing in their lives. And then you go home and then Matt, my editor, goes, hey, we gotta work on a new Mega Man project because we got so many stuff coming. Like the book, the first story of X1 is going to be ending next month, but then we got so much planned. And then 2027 is the 40th of Mega Man. We got more stuff planned with that. Like, to have all these goals and dreams and ambitions and stuff that you could do, like, that's the things people should reach for. It sucks, but it's, that so many people don't get to enjoy that. But if they could bring that in their life in some shape or form. What it says here, I'll be in touch if I can get it done. I'm working on a Hot Rod sticker. Ooh, who would be Hot Rod for Super Mario, though? Who would he have? Fry Guy from Super Mario 2, the giant fire. You could have like Hot Rod's chest as Fry Guy. I don't know. I'm blanking here on that one. But yeah. But like I'm always happy to see my creative friends doing stuff. Josh Perez, Alex Milne, all of them. You know, Just so important. So important. So he's crying on the back of Grimlock. Baby Mario should be Wheelie because if think about it, right? If Grimlock is Yoshi, then Baby Mario should be Wheelie. Think about it. That would make more sense. Put a little diaper on Wheelie, have him crying with a hat. And it's true, Wheelie's head sculpt is kind of like Mario's hat a little bit. Maybe something going on there. T-Formers 2002. As usual, I'll be sure once again put some stickers up. Okay, yeah, man, I want to see Ninjatron stickers. That's why, like, to me, you know, I always tell people if you can't afford a table at TFCon, parts parties are free. You know what I mean? Putting putting a bunch of stickers together or a bunch of art together and turning your room temporarily into for lack of better words, a gallery. And then putting up that sign on the bulletin board because we have the bulletin board for all the parts parties and go, hey, you looking for cool Transformer art, original Transformer art? Go check out this room. There's always an option. There's always a way to make money doing your creative stuff. But you got to go out there. That the reason why guys like Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee, even Rob Liefeld, people might not like Rob's art. I'm not a fan personally. I actually like Rob the businessman and the guy. I'm not a big X-Force Deadpool kind of dude, Domino, scatter scatter and all that but it's like I like Rob the businessman because those guys as businessmen, they get it. They get it. They know how to make money. Look, I'm not the most talented writer in the world. By far, I'm not. But I know how to market my stuff and put it out there and get people excited. And if people like it, hey, all the better. I mean, issue number 4 was very well received, but that's kind of my magnum opus for the time being. That's a really good issue. It was going to be good whether I like it or not. If you know, you know. From a Mega Man standpoint, T-Formers. Oh no, what is that? Ninjatron, awesome. I'll have Hot Shot. Oh, it's true. Hot Shot's going to be the voice actor. Galvatron, RID. Okay, you're doing all the voice actors pretty much. True, because Neil's there. And the cutest Bumblebee ever. Well, again, if you see Ninjatron at TFCon Toronto, shake him down for stickers. Shake him down. And then after he hits you away and goes, get off of me, then he'll give you some stickers. I don't know, or he'll sell you some stickers. T-Former Steel and Ninja, if you want. I'm sharing a table with Proto at the dealer room. We can make some sticker space. There you go. There you go. Yeah, because we got like a nice like L in the dealer room, kind of like an L-shaped table. So that's where my stuff's going to be, like the comics and everything. Still don't know if I should bring my sign or not. Maybe I'll just bring my small sign. I don't want to waste the space in the car, but we will see. We will see. But Ninja, then you have to sign the stickers too, You got to sign them, and then you got to certify them, and then you got to put your website address on the back with more information because those stickers double as business cards. You got to understand. Like, let me show you guys something. I have two books here. These are every business card of every professional Transformer person that's given me their stuff. And you got Aaron's business card, you got Aaron's podcast business card, you got Hydra's business card. Who else do we got in here? We got Mariano, who worked on the Beast Wars and Beast Machines. He was the creator of Obsidian and Rescue Bot stuff. You got Silas. This is Mariano's other card. People always have like variant cards. Who else we got here? Oh, we got all the Japanese guys and their business cards. And then we got more Japanese guys and their business cards. I think their info wants to be private. Matt Moylan's business card. You got, let's see, who else we got in here? Anastasia's business card. Got some of the third-party dudes. I don't know if they want their business card. Dick Gautier's business card. before he passed away. Rest in peace, Dick. Repro labels. Who else do we got in here? We got Bill Forrester, Jim Sorensen, whole bunch of them. Whole bunch. Captured Prey. And then I got all my miscellanea ones. My buddy Aaron from Game Grumps, his business card he gave me. Aaron and Ross's business card. That's number 1 on there. I always wish him luck in the crazy world of YouTube and so many more. So many more. Anyways, a lot of private info in there. Probably shouldn't show too much of it, but yeah. Business cards are important. It's how you network. To quote Mr. Perfect from the WWE, business gets done at the bar, and never forget it. Never forget that. But yeah, what time are we? Oh my God, we're almost done. We got like 5 minutes left. Jeez, felt like I did nothing today. But yeah, so next week, live stream Saturday, we're going to be revealing some TFCon exclusives. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully, also by next week, we'll have some in-hand San Diego stuff. Because so far, again, the G2 San Diego exclusive Grimlock. So that one looking pretty cool. Again, that's how big it is compared to my big old head. So that's going to be at San Diego, an exclusive at the Symbiote booth. We'll have all the other stuff too, hopefully next week to show you guys. Again, we'll have some TFCon exclusives live next week too to show you, as well as a commercial and everything. And some other stuff too. We'll have everything going on with that, you know. But I think that is more or less it. I'm trying to think of anything else. Oh, might as well give a shout out to him. We might see in the future at a TFCon, which I'll, you know what, maybe I'll save this for next week because this is a really cool one. Needless to say, during my comic book ventures, I met an individual that is very important to the Transformer world and hasn't really been publicly active in the Transformer community. He was one of the creators of some movie stuff. And I'm hoping to bring him to some future conventions, especially since next year is going to be celebrating the movie stuff. So maybe we'll talk about that next week. We'll save that. Very cool stuff. Very, very cool stuff. But I think that is it. If there's any other questions, guys, or super chats or anything, we will call it a night. And then Little Man is going to go play some Dragon Ball Kakaroto. Been playing that a lot recently on the Nintendo Switch. But yeah. Otherwise, I think we will call it quits again. Thank you, Aaron Archer, who's in the chat, Robbie, who's in the chat, the 2 Hasbro guys that if you choose to identify yourselves, who are always here every week in the chat. They're always here. But yeah, Alice Devil just grabbed Sandman Omnibus. That's a great read. Sandman is fantastic. That's like you know, top 100 books you have to read before you pass away in the comic world. That's on there for sure. Has anyone asked what I had for dinner? So I bought just 2 steaks. I always go to the supermarket on Saturday before I do the live stream. I go, what steaks are going to be going bad tomorrow? And I buy them on the cheap because you get some good, clean red meat protein. Had that with sweet potato French fries with a little bit of mayo. My wife likes it with mayo. And broccoli, organic broccoli that we buy from Costco. That was supper tonight. And we bought also, there's these Hershey's Kisses that have Pokemon characters on them. And each one of them has one of 151 Pokemon characters from the OG red and blue, green, yellow. So we bought a bag of it, and I'm like, man, I hope I could get me a Gengar. And we haven't opened it yet, so we'll see it. They're just on the wrapping. It's just for fun. She wants to get a Magikarp because she loves Magikarp. That's her go-to. her favorite Pokemon. But yeah, so that's what we ate. Steak, sweet potatoes, good stuff. Keep it clean, keep it healthy. Alice Devil, $2 thin cut steaks, well done. If you don't want to get like, well, me, I get like the thicker cut European round, and because they're going to expire, they've already been pre-seasoned. That's how you know that it's old steak if it's been pre-seasoned. So that saves me some trouble too. So, I get that. You gotta, if you have it once a week, you don't want to have too much red meat, but if you have it once a week, it's good for your body. You need to have dense protein in your body. A lot of people don't get that, and with all this like, you know, beyond beef and fake meat and stuff that doesn't have a lot of protein that just passes through your system. Another good way is to get have an egg, have a good egg, whole egg with the yolk. Good clean. If you have 2 eggs and a glass of orange juice every morning, you have literally almost like 95% of the vitamins you need in your body. So, and if you look at any green zone places in the world, whether it be Japan or certain places in Italy, eggs, orange juice, sourdough, very low glycemic breads in their diet. These people live to like 95, 100 years old. Look, Mel Brooks just recently celebrated turning 100 years old. Why don't you ask him what his diet is? It's exactly what I said. They know what's up. But yeah, T-Formers 2002. Good night, everybody. See you all next week. Yeah, we are past the 2-hour mark. So once again, thank you everyone for tuning in to the live stream. 2 hours of me yapping about the robots in disguise and other robots that are fighting for everlasting peace in the year 2000XX. Super fighting robots and beyond. Thank you for all the love and support. Once again, if you want to continue supporting the podcast, and check out that Patreon link down there. Join the Patreon, gives you access to the Discord, gets your name in the end credits scroll. It's the best way to support the podcast. If Patreon isn't your thing, all those beautiful green names you've been seeing this evening, that's the join button for YouTube. It gets you to ask questions to your heart's content and join us in all the madness there too and all of that. I'll answer this last question from Joey's. Hey, Proto, what do you think of the Hayatoys Mega Man X figures? Are they better than the 3-0 MDLX? Well, I mean, to me, the Mega Man X ones, this is the 3-0 ones. This is the Mega Man X one. I also have the Play Arts ones that they did before. I don't have any of the Hayatoys ones yet, so I can't compare. I will one day get the X one, and then I'll be able to compare that. Of the bunch thus far, I like the 3-0 ones because they have some die-cast parts and everything. But the Hayatoys ones, what I really like about them is the diversity of characters. I mean, they're willing to do the stuff that probably, 3-0 won't want to do. Like if they do some of the female characters like Iris or Leviathan or Alia, or if they do a Proto Man, which was on their voting list. If you looked on my Twitter, might as well plug that. If you go on my Twitter, there was a voting yesterday for the Mega Man, that what should be the next Mega Man figure from Hayatoys. So go check that out. And if you vote, you could win a prize too. They'll send you something if you get pulled from a hat. So check that out. That's it, more or less. Thanks again, guys. Take care of yourself, your friends, your family, your loved ones. The world is not as a bad place as you think it is. Social media makes you always believe that the world is crazy and there's all kinds of stupid stuff going on. But trust me, the moment you step out your front door and talk to your neighbors and your friends and everything, it's not as crazy as you think. It's a 1% of nutty people trying to dictate 100% of your life. And trust me, as someone that is out there all the time, socializing, talking to the people and everything, that 1% does not exist. Okay? Enjoy your life, enjoy your friends, enjoy the people around you, and enjoy your family. I'm out of here. Peace, be creative, and as always, roll out.